Hello and welcome to Manage CII podcast series where we bring you conversation with founders who are creating change in the agri startup space. In this episode, we are joined by Mr. Abhinav Sharma, the founder of Pure Farm Project Private Limited, one of our startup under Manage CIA initiative. Pure Farm is building something truly unique in the agri value chain, and today we will get know more about why, how, and what next of their journey. So, welcome to the episode, sir, and we are excited to hear your story.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Sonu. Good to be here.
Yeah, so let's start our conversation with like how did your entrepreneur journey begins and what inspired you to start something on of your own?
Sure. I started this journey last year. I come from a professional background, having done my engineering and MBA, and post that started working in the investment banking and private equity industry. So I did that for better part of a decade.
Mm-hmm.
And after having worked in large institutions, I decided to take the plunge in terms of entrepreneurship. And the key drive was to kind of create healthy food products which we can kind of provide to our families and our kids specifically, and to do it in a sustainable manner, wherein we are actually making a change for the farmers who are, as a community, forming less than 20% of the overall product value chain. So that's the whole vision, to provide something which is suitable and healthy enough for the end consumer, and then tie that consumer back to the farmer. In the process, help out the farmers with a little bit of upside in terms of their food products. So that's where we started last year,
Mm-hmm.
and we had support from Manage as well in terms of getting started as far as the incubation is concerned. Yeah, it's been a supportive role till now.
Yeah, so maybe know that why you choose this particular sector. Like, was there a personal motive or a gap in the market you are identifying?
I don't come from a food background, right? I told you I come from a financial industry business background, wherein my focus was building businesses, raising capital, and all. So I didn't have much experience as far as the food industry is concerned. But as you rightly pointed out, I think there is a gap that we see specifically in the functional food product category,
Mm-hmm.
which is our focus area, and something that we want to kind of utilize. From the personal inspiration perspective, I think what we want to do is create food products that we ourselves as a family can consume and we can feed to our kids. That was the whole vision. And in turn, help out other urban consumers as well with the kind of products that they should focus on. That's the whole
So,
vision.
so what kind of product are you making under Pure Farm right now?
We are coming up with innovative functional food products.
Mm-hmm.
The two products that we have essentially focused on, one is a malt mix, which is essentially a healthy powdered form functional food product that can be used for kids and teenagers,
Mm-hmm.
right? It is loaded with micronutrients, and in terms of the macronutrients, contains all the necessary sources of protein, carbs, fats, and the necessary micronutrients as far as vitamins and minerals are concerned, plus supplemented it with the enzymes so that it aids digestion and probiotics. So that is the overall vision that we have for the product.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to come up with something which is fairly healthy and satisfies nearly 33% of the daily RDA of the kids, right? As
Mm-hmm.
urban consumers with working parents, generally kids can lack in certain necessary areas. So
Mm-hmm.
our products is kind of identifying this particular opportunity and kind of fulfilling this, right? So
Yeah.
that is something that we are launching this month. And the other one that is undergoing stability studies is a green mix, which is
Mm-hmm.
focused on adult consumers. Again, it is in a powder form, a functional food product in the powder form, utilizing around 40 odd ingredients and kind of again supplementing it with the right dosage of micronutrients. So these are the two products that we are launching. In addition to that, we have a few generic products such as a porridge mix for kids,
Mm-hmm.
health bars, and cookies to kind of go along with the two functional food products that I just explained, right? That's the product portfolio that we have currently.
Yeah, so what makes your product stand out in the market? As we know, the market is very competitive, right? Is it in ingredients, process, or sustainability or packaging? What makes it different?
So I think A is the amount of food R&D that has gone into developing this product. right?
Mm-hmm.
Choosing the right set of ingredients, choosing the right source of ingredients, right? And
Right.
coming up with a product that is technically sound enough for the consumer base that we're targeting. So that is one. But the key aspect is the agri-tech part of our business, which I explained. What we want to do is actually aid farmers, right? And when I say aid farmers, I mean
Mm-hmm.
aid farmers who are actually in the need of that. We are dealing with marginal farmers who have small farm sizes and who are working with the millets essentially,
Mm-hmm.
right? So the base formulation of our product has a significant amount of millets. So both of the products that I just explained have around 20 plus percentages of millets as a base, and
Mm-hmm.
we have kind of ironed out the entire supply chain for the crop essentially. So what we are offering the consumer is end-to-end seed to fork traceability
Mm-hmm.
through our proprietary agri-tech SaaS solution. So what we have done is we have tied up with a farmer who we provided with the right variety of seeds in that geography. The farmer went about and kind of executed it. He kind of grew the crop, raised it, irrigated it, and then harvested it. And then
Mm-hmm.
we did a back-to-back buy purchase agreement with the farmer. So we paid
Okay.
the farmer market prices,
Mm-hmm.
and based on the sales that we are going to generate out of the raw material that we have sourced from him, we are going to share an additional incentive payment for the farmer to
Okay.
kind of
That's good
help the farmer out, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and we want to communicate this properly through our seed to fork traceability model
Mm-hmm.
for the
Mm-hmm.
consumer. A consumer with a simple scan of a QR code
Mm-hmm.
can understand transparently what they are consuming, were the labor who were working on the farm, right? Was there any child labor involved? Were
Mm-hmm.
they paid fair market wages? All these things will be kind of at the tips of the consumer, and they will get to see the hardships that are there. So, for example, in our case, the region experienced torrential rainfall, because of which 40% of the crop was lost. So, these are actual ground realities of the marginal poor Indian farmer, right? So,
Right.
that is what we are trying to do. We are trying to give him a proper market price for the produce directly, and we are giving him incentives as well based on the amount of sales that we generate. We will share part
Mm-hmm.
of the farmer. So that is the whole vision. So that is what the entire sustainability and the entire agri-tech and the consumer as well, because consumer actually is eating fresh produce. So
Mm-hmm.
consumer knows that the produce has come to him on his plate within a matter of months,
Yeah.
right? It is not like a 1 year, 2 year old crop that is getting
Mm-hmm.
used to manufacture products, right? So we are ensuring full transparency. And as we grow over time, we will ensure it for every single ingredient in our products. Right now, we are only focused on the foxtail millet part because we
Mm-hmm.
feel that is important. At the end of the day, marginal farmer of a millet crop is a poor farmer.
Right.
A marginal farmer of, let's say, a cash crop like a coffee or a cocoa is generally well off. So
Yeah.
they don't particularly need this. So this is where the need is, and this is where
Mm-hmm.
we're trying.
As we are talking about the product, can we know that how you ensure the quality, consistency, and innovation within your team and operations?
So our team comprises of individuals from different backgrounds, right? We have a food technologist who kind of has done her research in the field, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is effectively responsible for R&D. We have a supply chain professional who kind of takes care of end-to-end product mapping, sourcing, logistics, and as well as tying up with the right kind of facilities to kind of manufacture these products. So we are working with the renowned institutions such as NutriHub in Hyderabad
Ah,
to kind
okay.
of ensure that best practices are used as far as manufacturing is concerned, and
Mm-hmm.
what we are committing to the consumer is actually delivered.
Yeah, so
So
talking about the customer or consumer, so who are your main customers or target audience? Are you catering to a specific demographic or region?
demographic, yes, we want to cater to urban consumers, predominantly focusing on urban mothers as well as kids, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the typical demographic that we are after is an urban woman who essentially takes care of her health as well as her family's health by
Mm-hmm.
choosing the right set of functional food products that we are going to deliver.
Mm-hmm.
And from a geography standpoint, we are starting with the in the western region because we are based out of here in
Mm,
in
yeah.
Mumbai, Maharashtra.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously, we will kind of, once the PMF is there in terms of our product market fit is there, we will expand across the other large urban consumer sectors, and then eventually kind of move down to the tier two markets as well, as far as getting these products up. Because we are trying to come up with solutions which are fairly priced,
Yeah.
and are relatively more reasonable than traditional metro city brands, if I may say, right?
Yeah.
So we're
Yeah.
trying to
Mm-hmm.
provide best of both worlds to the customer.
Yeah. So, could you share a real life example or story where your startup made a meaningful difference to a farmer or rural group?
As I said, I think this is the first pilot that we conducted. So wherein we sourced foxtail millet seeds from NutriHub in Hyderabad.
Mm-hmm.
We shipped it across to the farmer, provided them with the necessary inputs so that they can grow the harvest. And we were partnering with them in terms of the entire analytics CRM management, right? Wherein we were
Yeah.
kind of monitoring and taking actual imagery, continuously discussing with them what were the challenges and all, which
Mm-hmm.
we have kind of reflected in our product as well, as far as our SaaS solution is concerned,
Mm-hmm.
which will be available to the consumer. Once they buy the product, they can see in terms of what actually they are consuming. This will
Right.
kind of bring in an element of sustainability
Mm-hmm.
because the consumer will get to know the plight of the farmer, and
Mm-hmm.
the farmer will get to reach the consumer in a more direct fashion rather than the layers of intermediaries that are there. So essentially, by sharing a little bit of our profits directly with the farmers is something that we are trying to enforce, make a difference to their lives, right? As I said, we are paying market prices for the produce directly. This kind of obviously ensures a
Yeah.
consistency and continuous demand for the farmer because they know that we will be the end buyer of the product, right?
Yeah.
And then we are sharing a little bit of incentives on top of it so that
Mm-hmm.
they are incentivized to kind of follow the good practices and become more valuable as far as the overall supply chain is concerned.
Yeah. So, as we know, the market is very competitive for this sector, right? So, how you are like maintaining that you can be visible in this market to your potential consumers or customers?
I think we are coming up with innovative marketing tactics. The first and foremost differentiator is what we are trying to identify ourselves with. That is, we are directly sourcing from the farmer and
Mm-hmm.
we are communicating that transparently to the consumer. That what
Mm-hmm.
you are going to get is not only kind of clean labeling,
Mm-hmm.
but transparency much beyond what the existing manufacturers offer, right?
Right.
So the scan of a QR code is not merely like a gimmick, right? It is actually going to show you exactly
Mm-hmm.
what seeds you are consuming, let alone the facility and all those things. Every single thing on every step will be communicated through GI taggings and everything. So,
Mm-hmm.
so as a consumer, there is a level of trust that will develop.
Mm-hmm.
And as long as we are serving them with quality products, our sense is that we should be able to get repeat buyers. The marketing tactics that we are using is a mix of both digital as well as physical pop-up demonstrations. So we are doing pop-up demos in different urban
Mm-hmm.
locales
Mm-hmm.
to reach out to the end consumer directly and communicate our vision, right? So initially, that's the approach, a very old-fashioned and traditional approach that we are trying to follow to reach out to as many customers and speak to them and
Yeah.
communicate effectively.
Mm-hmm.
And then using the necessary digital channels and using elements of modern performance marketing
Mm-hmm.
to grow our footprint digitally and using social media to kind of enhance our customer base.
As we know that every startup face some challenges, right? So, like I want to know what are the major challenges you are facing and what strategies you are adopting to, overcome those challenges.
I think, as you rightly said, I think challenges are plenty,
Yeah.
right? From having limited resources. So while smaller team size can be good in terms of effective work, but I think the sheer volume of work that any startup has to undergo. Challenges in terms of kind of breaking through the entry barriers that are there in any industry, right? Even in
Yeah.
food industry, kind of reaching out to the last mile is a
Mm-hmm.
challenge. Figuring out distribution, figuring out the retail platforms that are available, and kind of ensuring that our products reach the targeted consumer is something that we are trying to crack. And those are challenges that any startup will face. We are no different. We are facing same challenges, and hopefully we'll overcome them.
Yeah. Let's talk about your association with Manage CIA, how you got to know about it, and how that association helped you. Can you share with us?
Yeah, I think so. Kudos to the Manage CIA team in terms of their consistent presence on the internet on different platforms. But I think I don't come from food background. I actually came across one of YouTube videos that popped up on my feed, and I clicked it and I saw something which was interesting,
Mm-hmm.
and that is where the seed kind of was formed to associate myself and
Mm-hmm.
our startup with the Manage.
Mm-hmm.
Then obviously, I mean, Manage has been supportive both in terms of providing basic agri-tech informations and knowledge and setting up the incubation where we also participated.
Mm-hmm.
Furthermore, I think Manage has been instrumental in kind of providing us with a little bit of grants funding as well by tying up with the government authority. So all in all, it has been a very fruitful relationship to kind of be in that ecosystem and kind of getting to know more about the agri-tech value chains by being part of Manage. So that's the association. In fact, we ended up hiring from Manage as well during our internship program that
Mm-hmm.
we offered one of the candidates. So
Mm-hmm.
I think it's going to be a lasting association.
Yeah. So, what has this entire startup journey taught you, like both professionally and personally, if you want to share with us?
Since I come from sufficiently higher degree of pedigree as far as academics as well as professional background is concerned,
Mm-hmm.
so getting your hands dirty and kind of doing the actual work on the ground level, that is something that has been really uplifting. And a certain sense of humility has also been instilled in terms of what it takes to build a startup, right?
Right.
So from
Right.
that aspect, I think to do something from scratch requires proactiveness, requires obviously the brain and technical know-how, but at the same time, just remain humble and keep doing the grind and keep working on smaller things day by day to kind of see the fruits in the near future, hopefully.
Yeah. So, what is next for Pure Farm project and any upcoming launches, expansion, or goals you'd like to share?
So yeah, as I said, I think the two functional food products that I just explained you are under stability studies. By this month end, we should be in a position to kind of launch it in the market. So as soon as they are launched, essentially, then we will kind of start scaling things a little more aggressively because
Mm-hmm.
those are the two hero products that we are very focused on. One is an adult green mix product, and the other one is malt powder form product, which has to be consumed with milk for kids. So
Mm-hmm.
these are essentially the two products that we have really worked on, and hopefully, with the stability studies coming out in the next couple of weeks, we should be in a position to launch it by the end of this month.
Yeah, that's
That's
great, and
how we
we
expect.
wish you the best of luck for that. And like, what advice would you like to give to young entrepreneurs or agripreneurs just starting out and they want to start? What advice you want to give to them?
Yeah, I think also too young into my journey as an entrepreneur to be giving advices,
Yeah.
but I
Mm-hmm.
can share. I think don't be overwhelmed by the amount of breadth and work that one needs to do as a startup founder, as an entrepreneur. I think it is vast, but I think the same principles apply over here as well, right? You have to kind of be methodical in the approach, stay humble when you are kind of dealing with multiple stakeholders, and don't come with any preconceived notions in terms of
Mm-hmm.
how glamorous it may be as an entrepreneur. Generally, it is a lot of hard work. Like anything in life, I think you have to just take it one day at a time and keep doing the hard yards, and hopefully it'll bear the fruits.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir. So we are at end of the episode. You want to add anything or you want to share anything else with us?
I would like to commend you in terms of how you are kind of managing these podcast sessions, and
Thank you, sir.
appreciate the work that you and the entire Man CI team does. This communication will actually reach out to a lot more people and help them their own ways to kind of get started if they're looking for any entrepreneurship venture. So
Yeah.
just the way that I found you randomly on a YouTube,
Yeah,
uh,
right, right, right.
people can also benefit from such regular communication.
Yeah, right. So, thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Abhinav, for giving us a glimpse into your journey. It is truly inspiring to see how a startup can grow with the right idea, mindset, and ecosystem support. And to our listeners, stay tuned for startup story from across India, brought to you by Manage CIA, where innovation meets agriculture. Until next time, take care and keep building. Thank you so much. Thank you, sir.